Yo, 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 this is Carlos G, aka JumpHouse, the creator of Cito's Story, creator of Hella Fat Kits, and the creator of Hella Spirit. I'm here to just kind of chop it up with you guys to update you with what I have going on in the studio. We're here at Elevating Studio in San Francisco, California, and we're here broadcasting live to y'all. Let's get started. So at the end of the day, I'm just me. I'm Carlos G, music producer, creator, artist, entrepreneur, and I've created all these different avenues for my company. So JumpHouse is my DJ performance identity. It represents just kind of like your inner child having fun, celebrating life. It's also an avenue for me to explore my engineering, mixing, mastering, recording, production with other artists, songwriting collaborations, DJing in different performance settings. And JumpHouse embodies all of that. And what separates JumpHouse from Hella Fat Kits is Hella Fat Kits is more of a vehicle for me to create loops, samples, drum kits that other producers can use in their productions. And it also embodies quotes, so motivational quotes, inspiration for other producers to keep going, to never give up, to never quit. And it also embodies clothes. So different designs that I've created, t-shirts and different things that I'm experimenting with. It's more of a lifestyle company for producers to appreciate the journey of an up-and-coming producer and relate in their own production journey. So the Cito story is something special. I've created a character called Cito that exists in a metaverse. He's kind of like an avatar that I use for different production releases, independent releases, but he's also a part of an audio story that I'm creating with my collaborator, K.E. the Spirit. We created a sci-fi adventure comedy world that he exists in, and we're telling the story through different characters and voiceovers that I've created based on a kid from the neighborhood who faces different enemies and different challenges and is able to defeat them through the power of music and the power of love. And then we got Hella Spirit, that's me and K.E. the Spirit. It's a duo. We've created a lot of different hip-hop and world influence music, and we've kind of fused different sounds together to create Hella Spirit. But Hella Spirit is a movement. It's a spiritual journey led by Kamani on the vocals and me on the beats. So go ahead and check them out too. The reason I do what I do is because I've been so immersed in the arts and music since I was really young. My parents brought me up listening to records, always having musical toys around, and always having like sound systems and entertainment systems that they let me use to kind of program. I used to dub tapes and do little radio shows on the little microphone that plugged into the home stereo set. So I was always around music and always around media. And the reason why I do what I do is because I feel like it's ingrained in me, but it's also a vehicle for me to tell my story and to inspire other producers to keep going and to never give up, and to realize that at times we struggle, but we always have to overcome personal things or other battles to be able to endure the blessing of being able to make music, you know what I mean? So we overcome these challenges, we overcome our own obstacles to enjoy the blessing to create and tell our own stories too. So I'm just a vehicle, I'm just a catalyst of creativity. I try to help inspire other artists and develop other artists, but it's also a vehicle for me to tell my story and to really just connect with our society and connect with the globe, because we're more connected than we've ever been. All of our stories should be heard at this point in time in the planet. Probably from my infancy all the way up to middle school, I was self-taught in music. My parents blessed me with a mini drum machine that I begged them for my birthday at 12 years old, and they got it for me, and I was able to learn how to program beats into a drum machine. And then quickly after that, I learned how to play the guitar, and I started teaching myself guitar through like tabs that I'd find on Yahoo or Google or whatever was out at the time when I was really young, early internet days. And then pretty soon I manifested a laptop and in my high school years, and I was able to kind of, I skipped an important step. I also learned how to DJ very young too, because around 14, 15, I was even earlier than that. I was about 13. I begged my parents again to get me some turntables. I started collecting records before I had a record player, and then soon my parents gave me their record collection, and I begged them for turntables because I saw some local battle DJs and turntablists get down. So turntablism, musicianship, learning different instruments, and the drum programming and then the engineering side that I picked up later in high school through programs like Pro Tools, Reason, then later Logic. I was able to kind of blend these little mini skill sets that I was learning and teaching myself, and I started culminating that into like beat portfolio really young age. So through high school, I had a collection of I have and still have a collection of beats that I created from that time. So after high school, around the age of 18, I moved to New York City to attend the Clive Davis Institute of Recorded Music, which is a music program at NYU that was started by the man himself, Clive Davis. Shout out to Davis family. Yeah, anyway, that was my training ground to start working with professors and collaborators and peers of music expertise. A lot of my professors were behind the people that we listen to every day, and all ranges of the industry in all genres. So I was exposed to a lot of interesting people and interesting insights there. And I finished there with my Bachelor of Fine Arts in recorded music and a lot of collaborations and even more portfolio. So once I left that school, I moved back to the Bay Area and I started from scratch in my hometown. And I was able to build up a lot of experience doing a lot of DJing and audio engineering in the community, in community centers, in street festivals ran by the city or different community-based orgs. And so after college, I moved back to the Bay Area and I started over. I started from scratch, and that's when JumpHouse kind of came around. JumpHouse, it was my vision of like bringing together like a sound and a feeling of happiness, of joy, of fun, of party, of life, of celebration of life. And I wanted to encapsulate all of that in the different ways that I interact with the community and with the industry. So I did a lot of like community-based events like Carnival San Francisco, through my work through Carnival, like helping them start their social media and helping them with some of their musical direction. I was able to kind of tap in with different networks of people and get some exposure. And then soon after that, I did my audio engineering and DJ residency at Calle Once nightclub. Shout out to Leticia Luna. Yeah, and from there it kind of took off. And through Calle Once, I was able to work with a lot of Bay Area legends like Dwayne Wiggins, Mr. Fab, RBL Posse, San Quinn, Gold Toes, Big Rich, just a lot of people that I respected growing up in the hyphy movement and in the Bay Area hip hop scene I got to work with, which was a blessing, and it kind of gave me some more confidence in my skills, more mastery in my skills. I also have worked out of different studios in San Francisco, such as Elevating Studio here, Bionic Studio, and the Zoo Lab Studio. Shout out to Zoo Labs. And through that, I've just been grinding. I've helped a lot of different community centers like Larkin Street Youth Services build out their music program and help them build a studio and programs that allow them to influence the next generation and provide them a vehicle to thrive, to succeed in the music industry. So yeah, a lot of my work has been based in the industry, but also based in community. And I kind of like keep that kind of hybrid model in the way I do my work. So I guess the big question is, what do I aspire for next? And honestly, I have a lot of visions of where I see my current product going. Of course, I have a lot of like beats and a lot of intellectual property in my beats and songwriting that I've done over the years. I have a DJ set that I could always rock, whether that's like open format or my own original beats. I have a crew of artists that I roll with that are always up to pop up and do album releases or updates on what they're doing. I guess what I want to do next with that is that I want to mobilize these kind of micro companies to kind of start creating more of a brand presence for JumpHouse, because it kind of operates on all these different facets of the industry. And I like that diversity of content and diversity of ideas and experimenting with, what might work and what might not work. But I definitely envision my own personal work being showcased in some form of a gallery experience. Including like visual arts, the visual side of the music, including these animated videos I've created, the AI generated art that I've created, some of my own original designs, and have that include in some kind of immersive experience with sound and visuals in a gallery setting. That's one thing I want to do. And then the next thing I want to do is, as I kind of do pop-ups around different locations, build more of a loyal fan base to be able to do live performances and throw live festivals. Because there's a lot of range of talent and a lot of really, really amazing talent out of the Bay. But I would love for all that to be showcased together in one show and kind of leaning on the hip hop urban, but also on the alternative, Latino and world sounds. And don't forget house and EDM sounds too that come out of the Bay. So I want to kind of culminate a festival that immerses all of these different genres and sounds and showcases local talent. And I also want to have my own set in that festival. So that's how I imagine it going down, having a set with dancers and visuals behind me and some kind of more, and that all goes with the fact that all of this is work in progress, and it'll always be work in progress, but to start building more recognition around the brand that I created and be more visible in that sense. Like someone I would want to work with closer and see guidance from is Ghazi from Empire, because I really like the fact that he's homegrown and he tells like a really homegrown story, but also on the business side, he's very, he takes ownership of his business and he allows other experts thrive, work on his team to build up a lot of talent and also the diversity of talent he works with, you know. He does local hip hop from the Bay. He does stuff all around the coast to coast and even in West Africa and Latin America. He's establishing big things out there. So that sense of like global structure and also ownership and the homegrown story is what I can relate to. And I think, and I've actually had the opportunity to work for Ghazi before as an audio engineer at a secret venue that he's bought out. I can't really say where, but he's bought a venue in the city, and I had the opportunity of doing a few private events, including a production with Olamide, a major Afrobeat star from West Africa. So yeah, you know, he put me on in that way, but I'd love to work with him more and see what type of collaboration we could have potentially. But also in the vein of mentorship or friendship, I see it more as friendship and creating alliances. And the alliances you create are really important in this industry, and having things in common and having more of a friendship where you can bounce ideas off of each other and not really expect anything from each other or really feel like it has to be all a business engagement all the time. Like that's more of what I desire in a mentor and in anyone I collaborate with is the connection. Yeah, there's a connection there. Also, shout out to Illmind, A&R at Empire. That's another mentor of mine. In the sense that, you know, he kind of helped me see what the potential is in a producer and put me on to doing his BLAP showcases back in 2011 in New York City, in Soho, New York City. And getting that exposure back then was awesome, and still kind of keeping in touch through the past Oxes and the different events he throws. I've been blessed to like kind of have that connection and be around people like that who have kind of like whose energy kind of has rubbed off on me in a way, and allows me to kind of explore and master my own crafts. Something I want to say to all the creatives out there, this is my message for creatives out there all around the world, is keep creating, never give up. Don't let things distract you. Don't let negativity or other people's vision or obstacles that come in your way distract you, because creating is like your lifeline. The opportunity now, especially digitally, to be able to share each other's stories and collaborate is what we need right now. We need more collaboration. We need more building in a positive direction. There's so much negativity and stuff out there in the world right now, but if we focus on our craft and we focus on what makes us happy at the end of the day, that's what's going to really push through into the next wave.